volatile debate started when Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar said recently the Indian Army is not being taken seriously as it has not fought a war in the last 40 to 50 years. To quote him, in the past, when there was a letter from a military commanding officer to an IS officer or any other authority, it received attention of the highest order. Today, that respect has diminished. One reason is that for 40 to 50 years, we have not fought a war. I'm not saying we should go to war. I am saying that because we haven't fought a war, the importance of the army in our minds has dwindled. Right after Manohar Parrikar said this, he was hit across cross-sections, and some went to the extent of saying he had no clue what he was saying. But is that a correct perception? Instead of hitting the defense minister on the head, metaphorically of course, let us look at a few key issues. Parrikar said armies tend to lose their sheen if not fighting against an external adversary. Yes, we all know this is not the United States, which sends its troops to Iraq and Afghanistan to fight in those high-profile areas. India, of course, sends its peacekeeping forces, but they may not be as high-profile as what the United States does. In fact, here, a foray into neighboring Myanmar raised such a hue and cry as if the government had completely lost its mind. The same anger would echo earlier when the state was seen as soft or inept, or the covert operations were kept quiet. Tigers went in, did their job, and no one heard of them. So if the new government says, let's announce a hit to deter other eager beavers, is that such a huge problem? Across the country, there are disturbed areas where the Indian Army regularly engages in conflicts at the borders against elements backed by external enemies. And all of this happens in the form of a covert war, which the enemy is trying to pull off here. Now, the army is pulled in to handle difficult tasks, and it could range from rescuing people from floods, a child from a well, or dealing with any other extreme calamity. But the point here is, over a period of time, the sacrifices tend to fade. Any rare errand move is used to judge them. Local feelings tend to color the way we look at our men in olive green. All of this is true, isn't it? As a journalist, I have been on umpteen trips with our defense forces. I have the greatest respect for them, but one can't help thinking about how institutions are getting devalued. I gained interacting with some very fine minds like General Raghavan, General Satish Nambiar, General Sardesh Pandey, General Arjun Ray, and the then Chief of Staff, General Sundarji. These were men with brains, attitude, and intellect, and of course, enormous experience. But above all, they had dum. So at the end of the day, one tends to remember the individuals more, which is what the defense minister was pointing to without offering a solution. And I believe if the current government is drumbeating on a few counts like the Myanmar hit, it isn't such a bad idea.